power of self-belief. Self-belief. It's one of the simplest phrases to say, yet one of the hardest truths to live. Every great transformation in history began with a single spark: belief. Not belief in luck, not belief in chance, not belief that someone else would come along and make it happen. No, belief in oneself. Belief that says, no matter what happens, I will not give up. Belief that stands tall in the face of rejection, doubt, fear, and failure. Belief that says, even if no one else believes in me, I still will. That's where greatness begins. Because before any dream becomes real, before any goal is achieved, before any victory is celebrated, there is belief. Belief is the root of every success story. It's the invisible force that moves mountains, that breaks barriers, that turns ordinary people into legends. Think about it. Every person who ever changed the world, from inventors to leaders, from artists to entrepreneurs, they all started the same way, as a person who chose to believe when it didn't make sense to, when there was no proof, when there was no applause, when there was no guarantee of success. They believed, and that belief carried them through storms that would have destroyed most people. Self-belief doesn't start with talent. It doesn't start with opportunity. It starts with a decision that you are enough. Most of us are taught from a young age to doubt ourselves, to seek approval, to compare, to question our worth. And those small seeds of doubt grow into barriers that hold us back from reaching our true potential. But here's the truth. You were born with something powerful inside you. You were born with a light, a voice, a calling, something no one else on this earth has. And that's why belief matters, because belief is what allows you to see that light, even when the world tries to dim it. When you believe in yourself, you become your own source of power. You stop waiting for permission. You stop waiting for validation. You stop asking, am I good enough? Because you already know the answer. You are. You always were. You just forgot. Belief doesn't come easy because life will test you. You'll fail. You'll be rejected. You'll be laughed at. You'll be misunderstood. You'll pour your heart into something and it won't work out the way you hoped. And in those moments, doubt will whisper, see, I told you you're not enough. But those moments are the exact moments where belief must rise. Self-belief is not built when things are easy. It's built when everything falls apart and you still choose to stand. It's built when you try again after the 5th, 10th, 100th failure. It's built when you keep going even when no one is watching, no one is clapping, and no one is supporting you. That's belief. Belief is quiet, but it's powerful. It doesn't need to shout. It doesn't need to prove. It simply knows that this is not the end, that this setback is not defeat, that this pain has a purpose. The most successful people in the world are not the smartest. They're not the luckiest. They're not the most talented. They're the ones who refuse to give up. They're the ones who kept showing up. They're the ones who believed when logic said to quit. Every journey reaches a breaking point, that moment where you wonder if it's all worth it. You've tried so hard and yet nothing seems to work. You've sacrificed, struggled, waited. You've cried behind closed doors, questioning why things aren't happening faster. But what if that moment, the one that feels like the end, is actually the beginning? Because that's the secret. The moment you think you can't go on is usually the moment you're closest to breaking through. Belief pushes you past that breaking point. It tells you, keep walking. It says, don't stop now. It whispers, you didn't come this far to only come this far. And one day you'll look back at all those nights of doubt, all those moments of despair, and realize they were shaping you, strengthening you, preparing you. Because belief isn't just about achieving dreams. It's about becoming the kind of person who can handle them. You see, self-belief and persistence are twins. One cannot exist without the other. Belief says, I can. Persistence says, I will. When life tests you, and it will, your persistence proves your belief. Every time you choose to keep going, you're telling the universe, I still believe. And the universe listens. Doors open. Opportunities appear. The right people come into your path, not because luck suddenly decided to smile on you, but because you refused to quit before the magic happened. That's the beauty of belief. It transforms the impossible into possible, the dream into a plan, and the plan into a reality. Failure is not the opposite of belief, it's part of it. When you fail, it's not a sign that you're not meant for something. It's a sign that you're being refined for it. Every setback carries a lesson. Every disappointment carries direction. Every no carries redirection. The most powerful people didn't avoid failure. They mastered it. They learned from it. They grew through it. Because belief doesn't mean you never fall. It means you always get back up. So when you fall, and you will, don't let shame hold you down. Don't let fear define you. Look at failure in the eye and say, thank you. You're not my ending, you're my training. Belief is energy. It's contagious. When you walk into a room with belief, people feel it. They may not understand it, but they feel it. They're drawn to it. They start to believe too. Your belief can shift environments. It can inspire change. It can move people into action. And that's what leadership really is. Not control, not authority, but belief. Belief so strong that it awakens belief in others. That's how revolutions start. That's how communities rise. That's how lives are changed. But belief, like a flame, must be protected. You can't surround yourself with people who pour water on your fire. You can't spend your life listening to voices that tell you to settle. You can't expect to soar if you keep tying yourself to people who are afraid to fly. Protect your belief like it's sacred, because it is. Feed it daily with gratitude, with faith, with discipline. When fear speaks, answer it with truth. When doubt creeps in, remind yourself how far you've already come. And never, never let anyone make you feel small for dreaming big. The greatest thing about belief is that it doesn't just change your life, it changes the lives of others. Because one day, someone will look at you, at your strength, your resilience, your success, and say, if they could do it, maybe I can too. Your belief becomes a bridge, a light, a legacy. You're not just believing for yourself. You're believing for the next generation, for the dreamers watching you, for the people praying for a sign that it's possible. And you, by simply choosing to believe, become that sign. You have no idea how powerful you truly are. The same force that created oceans, mountains, stars, that same creative power lives inside you. It's waiting for you to believe in it. You don't need permission to start. You don't need validation to keep going. You just need belief, pure, unwavering, relentless belief. Because the moment you decide, truly decide, that you will not stop until you see your dream become reality, that's the moment the universe moves with you. And nothing can stop a person who believes. So if you're standing in the middle of your storm right now, wondering if you have what it takes, let me tell you, you do. If you're questioning your path, your timing, your worth, believe anyway. If you failed 100 times, believe anyway. If no one claps for you, believe anyway, because belief isn't about where you are, it's about where you're going. You are powerful beyond measure. You are capable beyond imagination. And the only thing standing between you and the life you dream of is the belief that it's possible. So choose belief, choose courage, choose to back yourself every single day. Because once you do, you become unstoppable. And remember this, you've already overcome so much more than you give yourself credit for. You've survived days you thought would break you. You've carried pain that most people never saw. You've walked through fire and still managed to rise. That strength didn't come from luck. It came from belief. Deep down, you knew you were meant for more. That's why you're still here. That's why you're still fighting. That's why you're still trying. Keep believing. Keep becoming. Keep shining. Because your story, your life, is the proof that belief works.